Good morning, north of 44 degrees. It is a beautiful morning. Spring has sprung. Things are starting to look up. Today we're getting on with the Fireplace surround build. It's kind of a modular system, and that's the way it was designed. I'll go over that some more detail here in a little bit. But we're going to be building the base piece and getting that one ready to move into a house. So lots of 2x4s going into it. Pretty basic framing construction. So let's jump inside and get on with this build.
Let's go over to the design real quick. This is the first time I'm using SketchUp to, kind of design a project before I actually start building. This is the second version of this build. The first one used much larger pieces, and knowing that I was going to build it in the barn and then carry it over to the house caused me to redesign it into more of a modular. So it's actually going to be built in 3 pieces. That lower kind of 2/3 will be build number 1. The midsection with the angles on it will be build number 2, and then the chimney chase will be the kind of the third and final piece. I did save that one to the last because I knew that was going to be really close on dimensions. I really want that piece to fit tight. So that's the way the build's going to go. I did like using SketchUp to do this. One of the benefits was creating a cut list, and you saw that in the early part of the build process where I was just cutting pieces or cutting boards and stacking them up. It was very unusual for me and almost a little bit uncomfortable because I'm used to building and measuring as I go and kind of having the design in my head. I did create one issue where I actually put a couple boards in the wrong place, had to disassemble things and rearrange, but not that big of a deal. It did streamline the design process. Really gave me a chance to think about how things went together. The build in itself is very traditional framing. 2x4s that were procured at the local big box store. Nothing fancy, nothing special. The depth on the unit is only 15 inches deep, so it's not particularly big, and fairly easy to manage in the shop. Joinery was my go-to 2.5-inch construction screw, and most of that was toenailed or driven in on an angle from the edges. You could see from the build process that I actually started building on the floor. I do not have an assembly table in the shop yet. It is in the works. I need to get the shop finished before I start placing a bunch of furniture that I'll have to work around. So moving up to the sawhorses and then the piece of plywood on the sawhorse made a huge difference. Some of the build days were actually fairly cold, so getting up off the floor was a benefit as well. You'll notice that I used some clamps to keep some of the pieces square. When you toenail things together, sometimes those boards tend to move a little bit, so using clamps to secure everything helps keep everything nice and square. And I was really happy with the final product on this build. It is very consistent. It is very square. This is a longer video than normal because it was a good sized build, but I certainly did enjoy spending a full day out in the barn making sawdust. So I'll let you enjoy the rest of this build, and we'll catch up at the end.
All right, let's wrap this up here. You can see I've got the frame pretty much done. I'm gonna add some more blocking. I'll add some more blocking here, and maybe a couple more across the back. That'll be more for holding the tile up than anything else. Don't need to see that. You've seen the best part of it. So here's where we're at. When we start the next episode, we'll go ahead and move this into the house and get it in place. Thanks for watching. See you next week.